Hi, what's up? My name's Neil. Um, I like to be a computer programmer, but I haven't taken linear algebra. Um, so I'm kind of curious, what is linear algebra? What's it good for? And I kind of like to start learning it. Um, I'm not in school, but I just kind of want to do it right now because I'm curious. So let's get to it. All right, time to learn linear algebra. So let's do what anybody else would do in today's day and age to the internet. Hopefully, there's a place that lists like some reasons why is linear algebra important? How is it used in the real world? Maybe it lists some resources online that has some explanations or lectures of all of the concepts that are entailed in linear algebra. It may be cool if it listed places where I could practice it online too. So hop to it. To the internet. I did it. I found a place that did all that I wanted to do. Branchwell.com. Kind of dopey looking, but nonetheless, it's kind of cool. So, I want to know about linear algebra. Right here, mathematics, linear algebra. Why linear algebra? Linear algebra in action. Oh, that's pretty cool. I wonder what this has to say here. A YouTube video. Some MIT guy. What does he
linear
have?
algebra itself. Um, that the classes in linear algebra earlier years tended to be pretty much for pure math majors
He's dropping some
and
knowledge.
a lot of proofs, and usefulness of the subject kind of wasn't so clear.
Huh.
Whereas it's an incredibly useful subject.
It is.
Data is coming in all the time. We're in the century
true.
of data,
Lots of
and
data.
data tends to come in a matrix, in
In
a
a matrix.
rectangular array of numbers.
Huh.
And how to understand that data is a giant problem.
Big
And
problem,
and people use matrices in solving differential equations,
huh?
in
Oh,
economics, everywhere.
economics, huh?
So the subject had to change to
Huh, okay, that guy's dropping some knowledge here. What's this link have to say? Oh, he's talking about linear algebra too.
Welcome. My name is Tim Sharp. Algebra more fully. In both parts, we delve into application
But tell me why.
sense of that data and see the larger picture. Linear algebra is a major tool. For example, if you have thousands of
Here we
user
go.
ratings of movies, how do you predict a particular user's rating for a specific movie?
Prediction,
How
huh?
can you rank sports teams from
Rank sports
thousands of
teams.
games? If you have the data, we'll learn
Data.
methods that can
Huh.
help you rank
Linear
and
algebra
better.
seems about just figuring out what's going on with data. This is the last one here, so what this link has to say. Why linear algebra? Apparently it does JPEG compression. That's pretty important in today's age. Cryptography. Yeah, that's cool that I can do online banking. Play a game of snakes and ladders. Google itself is pretty much linear algebra, apparently. Alright, well, I'm sold. So, well, let's just, I know a little bit about vectors. What's there with adding vectors? How do you add vectors? So, oh, maybe this link has 450 likes. And it's an explanation.
Two-dimensional vectors right over here, vector A and vector B.
So
what I
your
want to think about is
voice is
how
gold.
can we define, or what would be a reasonable way to define?
Well, let's just say, maybe you don't like Cell that much. Something's messing up, something goofy with that video. There's another one. Apparently this Patrick guy,
Okay, in this video I want to talk about vector basics.
the basics of vectors. Okay,
A
good.
little vector. Maybe I've got a vector that's kind of pointing, you
Okay.
draw a vector U
I just want to add them.
pointing kind of
End
due
to tail.
south.
That's right, end to tail. Alright, so these are explanations I could use. And what else is here? Oh, I can actually play around with vectors. Oh, I'm starting to get it now. So it's just, I think if you have a vector like this way, and if you want to add them together, and you want it to cancel each other out, you just point them in the opposite direction, right? This one's a little bit bigger. Show the thumb. See, nothing. But if I do this, Look at that. It over cancels it, overtakes it. Or what if I wanted to like just do a vector that's like a right angle? What was that equal? Huh. It's just the one in the vector in between of it. Pretty neat, huh? So that's how vectors work. Okay. Well, maybe I like to practice this a little bit. Here we go. 2 practice problems. So -7 minus 3. So it'll be -4. And then 9 minus 4 is 5. Plus 5. I did it. Alright, getting the hang of this adding vectors. Just tail to tail, add the exponents together, add the y components together. Pretty simple. But now it'd be pretty cool if I could just, since I got the hang of it now, got like 5 problems done in a row, do a little demonstration, like a screencast of me doing a problem, so I can demonstrate me understanding the fundamental characteristics that you need to know about adding vectors. I have proof that I know it. So I think I'll do a screencast of me doing that now, since like everybody on Twitch and YouTube Live, if you broadcast what you play video games, why not do it doing intellectual stuff? So have at it. Done doing my screencast of me demonstrating a vectors, any vectors problem. So now I want to add that YouTube link to my profile. So whenever people want to see it, you can see me adding vectors. So what you can do is, so here's my video I made. So learned from Silicon, from Patrick, and then I did some problem. Yeah, so here's me doing it. So here's the first vector. So handsome, so smart. And then, yeah, so it's just a 2-minute video of me demonstrating my ability to add vectors. So what you can do is copy the YouTube URL, and you paste it here, and you just add resource, and that's it. That brings you back home. So now if you go to profile, and you go to linear algebra, and you go to adding vectors, you can see before my Khan Academy experience, now there's this link to this video missing. Oh, here's Neil actually doing stuff. Yo, it's Neil just vectors. Adding and subtracting vectors, just learning about them here. Bada bing, bada boom. So yeah, and then you can just show this profile page off to employers, mom, dad, whatever. So cool. So another is that, let me show you here. If you wanted to archive and keep track of all the resources that you used, well, first of all, you have this little profile page here, and it'll like keep track of like what you've been through beforehand. So, and actually, let me undo it here. So if I restart it here. So like for explanations that we use, we can see for adding vectors, I have nothing. But if remember, I was just doing the Silicon and Patrick and that little demonstration or interactive thing to use vectors. But if we can archive them to our a profile page, and now we have those links saved here. Pretty cool. So like here's that vector. Remember doing this? So yeah, that's pretty neat too. And then there's also this. So I've done some other adding vectors in Silicon, and I've beforehand I did 11 attempted problems and I got 10 right. So you can do that too. So you can import your experience. So I already did. So if I update my experience here, it just takes a little bit to wait to render. And what it should do is show off that those last 5 problems that I did, I rattled off 5 in a row. So now if we refresh, so right now we did 10 out of 11. So if we go back, here we go, linear algebra, adding vectors, still 10 out of 11. What the heck? I thought I did more than that. Must not update on their side. Well, that's cool. So beforehand I could, this would have been blank, but since I did the add, the Khan Academy data to my own profile. It'll show up here. And if I click on this, it'll actually show you the breakdown of me, like how fast I did problems and stuff, and how long it took for me. You can see, yeah, Neil's pretty good. For whatever reason, it took a little bit longer than that one. Maybe it was me explaining it, but cool. So there you have it. In more or less than a couple hours, I had a curiosity, a spark of what is linear algebra, what does it entail, why is it important, and I was given apparently the best resources on the internet at my disposal, and I went through them and I learned, and then I started actually doing some linear algebra matrix problems, adding vectors, and it was fun. It was just went with it, and very efficient time of me getting smarter, I think. I mean, it's a lot better than me trying to get into a school. Then once I'm in the school, having to wake up 7:30 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning to go to a lecture. I have some buddy lecturing me in the blackboard when I'm sitting in a big auditorium next to way more other distractions of my students. And to be quite honest, I don't know if the lecture was all that good, and I couldn't be able to like understand what was going on, you know. So I kind of like this method a little bit more. Just the internet's awesome. I get all the best information, and I get to practice it, and I get to just demonstrate how I know it and work through it and try and fail all at my own kind of expense. And isn't that kind of like what the gold standard of education is getting everybody to think for themselves and do things for themselves in their own agency? But yeah, nonetheless, I don't know, it's kind of cool. We'll see and I have an archive of all this too, of all the resources I use too. So maybe I can show it off to employers, groups, friends, people, mom, dad, whatever. Because in the end, I'm getting smarter and I'm solving problems. So neat. Good job, me and Brain Soul.